First of all, let's cheers to our festive cups. Be that girl.
We didn't even mean to.
Didn't even plan it.
If you just know you're that girl,
Yeah.
you just have no choice but to be that girl. And I feel like I'm that girl.
Welcome to episode 4.
Yay!
We actually haven't recorded in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because everything was pre-recorded that you guys have been watching. So we're back in the group.
We're back in the group, and also we really haven't seen each other much since you've been back in town. We started school, so we've been a little busy.
We got Silly Week going.
We got Silly Week going, and it's been good. It's been fun. Do you feel like you're soaking it in so far? That was your weekly wish last week.
Yes, I feel like the Silly has been soaked.
I feel like it has been too, but I feel like Silly Week is also a little different this year because school started on a Thursday. Normally it's like a Wednesday or a Tuesday, so it's a shorter Silly Week. But I think that's for the best.
Yeah, I didn't need any more. And things are probably going to still happen this coming week.
Yeah. A lot going on, but it's really fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
It's been good. It's been good.
Yeah.
Another thing, some of y'all did not listen to us because our deny last week was don't spread rumors on the lawn during sorority recruitment, which I guess maybe the rumors weren't on the lawn, but they sure were on Yik Yak.
Yik Yak.
Which, honestly, who uses Yik Yak?
I didn't even know it was a thing until very recently.
It's a very chuggy app.
It's giving Ask FM.
It is. It's the college Ask FM, but it's so childish to me.
Yeah, it's very
It's like this anonymous app, but I'm gonna read you guys some of the posts that we saw. Also, supposedly, I yelled at girls in Pi-Fi and called them fugly. By the way,
she's a bully.
oh yeah, and apparently I was a monster. By the way, that never happened, and I honestly think everybody would tell you the same.
Yeah.
I definitely was not a monster.
No.
And I've never used the word fugly.
Who uses the word?
That is so oddly specific.
Yeah,
so
no.
that just really shows about whoever's posting.
True.
Well, other than that, Theta apparently sticks hot dogs up their hoo-haws. Pi-Fi,
It's just ridiculous.
like, hello? Who makes these things? Apparently, Pi-Fi is making a porno because they were dressed like skanky, for the lack of the better word, nerds. The Kappa Castle smells like self-tanner and Medusi. And that's kind of all I saw, but that was pretty notable stuff.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you guys? Grow up.
Well, people that are listening to this are not the people that are on Yik Yak.
Facts. Y'all are not the Yik Yak. That is not being that girl.
No.
It's honestly probably like little boys.
Probably little frat boys.
Little frat boys. Yik Yak does give me like weird boy vibe. You know?
Or like jealous girl vibe,
Ooh, pick me girl vibe.
which is not how you view that girl.
Nah.
Nice girls only.
Nice girls only.
No mean girl vibes.
Anyways, no monsters around here and nobody sticking hot dogs up their parts. I hope.
Like, what?
That one is so
Is there
bizarre.
a name for that? Like, what even is that?
I don't know. I don't know.
You guys got
Anyways.
some weird minds.
Yeah, y'all are really creative apparently. But anyways,
Anywho.
well, my weekly wish
yeah.
was also to soaked what?
So silly up.
It was, yes, and I do feel like I've done that. I also did finally post my reel. Yay.
You guys go watch. It's amazing. It gave me chills.
Thank you. Yeah, your text made me really
was
happy.
so good.
But I've been getting interview requests, so I've been interviewing all around, and that's been going really well. So I'm proud of myself for finally doing that. And the
Yay.
weight that was lifted off my shoulder the minute I said publish was literally like,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So
That was a big to-do for you this summer.
yeah, that was like what my whole summer was dedicated to, was like making that reel. So
Yeah. Proud. Next up, you guys voted on our Instagram, and you guys chose College Boy Survival Guide over career advice, which we'll probably do career advice next week.
it's coming soon. Yeah,
But you got what you wanted, so we're
gonna tell you everything we know about boys. Is that a lot? I don't know. We've done our service. We've served our time. Salute the troops.
True.
We deserve compensation over some of the things we've been through.
Well, we also asked you guys some questions, so we're going to go through that as well, answer some of those, and then might give you a little story time tea. So,
Number one. I really like this question. She said, I hit it off with him at a party. What now? And I love that because I feel like that happens. You meet people out randomly and you're like, wait, what do we do from here?
Well, first of all, I hope you got some sort of contact with him. And I say reach out.
I do too. I think you slide in.
Yeah.
I think I'm always torn if I want to be the girl that's like assertive and sliding into the DMs and like making the first move, or the girl that's like hard to get and like making them chase me.
Yeah.
I think you start out being the assertive girl if they don't hit you up first, which hopefully they do, but if they don't, you go for it. And then after that, you can kind of start playing the game a little bit, make them chase, but I say start it.
Yeah, and I would say especially if you're a freshman, you meet so many people, like so much going on. Like I wouldn't say it's like fault if he hasn't reached out yet.
No, I wouldn't say so either.
So I would say contact him on whatever you got, text, whatever, and then say, hey, I'd love to hang out again.
Yeah.
You know, maybe say, let's go get coffee or
let's go get a drink.
Yeah.
Or like, even if you don't want to start it out so formal at the beginning, you can just like be like, oh, are you going out tonight? Like, are you going back to this place that we met? Like,
true.
You know, the first time you met, you can make it super casual at first.
You could say, will I see you out tonight?
Will I see you out tonight?
That could be cute.
And then like that second night you see each other out, you can like really take it up a notch, and then maybe like plan more of like a formal hangout after that. Yeah. There's definitely ways to swing it, but I think most importantly, get Instagram, a Snapchat, a number, like something to contact each other on.
I would say actually do the like, will I see you out tonight, hang out that night out, and then that's where you can let them chase you.
Yeah, I agree. Start out, you know, like laying the foundation, like laying it on thick.
Like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, and then pull back. I also think that makes them go, wait, what happens? Like, she was so, like, you know, forward, and now she's, like, pulling back, like, wait, what's going on? And then they're going to be like, oh, my gosh.
Okay,
totally
I think
that's how I would swing it.
Please DM us on how this goes after.
Yeah.
All right, next up, how to not let a boy change who you are and take you away from your friends.
Bentley has a boyfriend, and I respect the way that you balance your time and have always made him like an asset to your life, and not like he doesn't change you in any way. He just helps better you.
That's so cute.
I mean it. So you have good insight on this.
Well, I just know that that's really important to me, so I really make time for both, and I don't find it like difficult. And we'll have our girls' time. Like, I like to chit chat and gossip and whatever, go out, have girls' nights out. Like, there's so much you can do both ways. And then it helps that we're all friends. So all of our friends will come together, and then I can do that at the same time as well.
Yeah, which I think is really helpful. Like, if your friends and your boyfriend are friends, like, or their friend groups are friends, that's awesome. I think what I've learned on this topic is if you're with a genuinely good guy or girl, they're not going to change you. They're not going to take you away from your friends. I think it's when you're with a toxic person. It is. If you feel like you're struggling to stay yourself or struggling to make time for everybody, I guess not necessarily make time, but if you feel like you're like having to distance yourself from your friends, or your friends are distancing from you, it really does come down to that person is probably not who you should be with.
The person you're with should make life feel easy.
Yeah.
And if that's how you're feeling, then that's not how it's not how it should be working, you know?
Yeah. I, like, with my ex, definitely became pretty distant from everyone for a while. I eventually kind of, like, figured it out. And I do feel like he, like, changed me a lot just because he was so... everything I did was a problem, basically. So I just feel like I was, like, always a filtered version of myself. And seeing that relationship, but then also like being able to see like you and JD, like how y'all's relationship is, like it's very clear like the reason that happened was not me, or not because I wasn't balancing my time well, it was because of the person I was with. I feel like that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So be very aware of that.
Pretty much, if that's how you feel, then there's an underlying issue, I would say. And that get out. And I mean, is this man really that worth it?
Yeah. Is he? He's not. I guarantee you. You think he is? I promise he's not. Like, and I think if you feel like that's happening, I would kind of really like look into it and see, okay, like what is he doing that's making me feel different? Or in situations where my friends are like wanting to hang out and I'm not, why is that happening? And really get to the root of it. And honestly ask like your closest girlfriends, like what do you, from an outsider point of view, what do you think's going on, and really like take that into consideration.
I would also say like embrace the honeymoon phase at the same time though.
Yeah.
Because that's like so fun.
That's so true.
And just because it's new doesn't mean that you have to be together 24/7.
Yeah.
But you know, maybe a little bit more than usual just during that phase.
Yeah, and I think friends understand that.
Yeah, I agree. And again, if it's the right person, they're not going to take you away from your friends.
Or change you. And I think the thing with that too is like there's a difference between like the first 3 months or however long of you dating somebody new, you being a little bit more absent, than it being a year and you're still doing that and you're very much a changed person. That's like, I think, more like what this question should be about. Like the honeymoon phase, everybody does that. And it's cute and it's fun and it's not hurting
And
anybody.
even your friends are excited for you at that point if they like the guy.
If it's the right person. Yeah, 100%. Subtle red flags.
I haven't really thought about this yet.
I know, I didn't really pre-plan it. Well, I think a big one is like how people treat like wait staff and like people at like the grocery store that are checking you out, like just people out in public. I think that's so telling how someone really is, and that's just such a like a subtle thing, like because it's not really hurting you or affecting you, but if they're like really kind to them, that's a green flag. But if they're really like just, I don't know, entitled to them, ew.
I have one actually. Me and JD were talking about this literally yesterday. Opening the door. Opening the car door. Because it's not about the act. It shows how they were raised.
You think that's a green flag?
If they don't do that, that's a subtle red flag.
I agree. And it's like, it's kind of just, it goes, like you said, it's like how they're raised, but it goes more beyond just opening the door. It shows that they don't really care to do the little things. Like,
and it's respectful. It shows how their mom or dad obviously taught them that that's what you should do.
And they want to like,
they have a good family. Like, it just shows way more than just opening a door.
This is not that subtle, but like if they're really like weird with their phone, like they don't just like leave it out, or like when they have it, they always have it like face down. Little things like that, I feel like it's just like, it's why just are you so secretive about it?
Yeah.
Kind of concerning.
I agree.
A big red flag to me is when a guy, like, I've noticed this a lot about guys now. When they say they're going to do something, or they like talk all this big game and like make all these big plans, but never actually follow through with them.
I hate that.
That's immediately no.
Yeah, I agree.
That is so gross.
I agree. And also not subtle, but if they like brag.
Ew.
Or if they're talking about money.
If they talk about money and flex and all that, I immediately am like, you're probably a narcissist. You're probably extremely insecure.
Not even flexing either, though. Like, just talking about it.
Just bringing it up
especially early on. Like, for what?
No. Because eventually, like, financial conversations have to happen. But, like, there's a different way to do it. But I think you're insecure, and I think you are using that as a way to make us think you have a big ego, and you're, like, all, like, you know, all big and bad.
Or, like, showing signs of being materialistic.
Ew. Yeah.
Maybe this is just an ick, but, like, when they talk about how much drinking they do.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I pounded four Locos the other day.
He's like, yeah, I literally shotgunned so many beers last night. It was so crazy. I'm like, you're literally disgusting. How to do long distance in college. So Bentley and I both have had to do long distance in moments in college, not like long term. Yeah. Both of us have done it in like a summer. I feel like it's very hard, and it takes the right people to be able to actually do it long term, though, to start. So just know 100% that the person you're doing long distance with is the person you want to be with, because the worst thing is having to break up with somebody during long distance, like away from each other. But we just asked our girl Taylin, my roommate. She and her boyfriend are doing long distance right now, and they do it so well. And she was just telling us before we started recording that what her and her boyfriend Mav will do is they will like play games and stuff while they FaceTime. Like, they won't just sit on FaceTime and like talk. I mean, they'll talk, but they'll like make the FaceTime calls like dates, because that's really all you get.
It is fun.
It's fun. And so they'll like play 20 questions, or they were like quizzing each other on things about each other last night, just spicing that up. I know people, I see people on TikTok do like dinner dates, so they'll like order from the same restaurants distance wise and like do it together. So I just think being really intentional with the little time that you do have together.
I wouldn't even say I did it this summer really, but the summer before that he was in Italy for 6 weeks and on another time zone. So I was so sad, but it ended up being okay. We did really good on communication, FaceTime like every night / morning for me, like whatever it was. And that was really helpful. And then also we both kind of like had a routine, so we kind of like knew what each other was up to, you know, which like makes you like feel good. Like,
yeah. I also think that something that him and I did, even though he sucked so bad, but that always made me feel better, is when we would always have like another time we were going to see each other when we were wrapping up
I love that.
the time we were on.
What makes you feel better leaving?
Yeah, it makes the like goodbye a little bit easier, because a goodbye is never easy in distance. But it was like, okay, well, at least I'm going to see you in 2 weeks or however long it is.
Well, good luck on your long distance adventures. Hope you guys come back together soon.
Yeah, communicate your booty, y'all. Alrighty, how to tell if a boy is a F-boy or a nice boy?
I think kind of the red flags that we were saying gives F-boy energy. And if he has the opposite of that, then he's a nice boy.
I think what I've learned with the F-boy energy is you have to be able to see through the facade. Like, I thought recently, not that recently, but a few months ago, I was talking to this guy, and I thought, like, I'm at the point where I can just see through all the BS. I know exactly, like, who's a good guy and who's not. And then I totally got bamboozled and was like, wait a minute, I never saw this coming. But now, like, looking back, like, I can see all these things he was, like, saying that sounded really good and made me think he was a really sweet guy. And I'm like, okay, no, that was all just, like, fluff. You have to look past the facade. Like, you just can't be rose-colored.
Yeah. Also, love bombing.
Oh, that's the biggest subtle red flag. Love bombing.
Yep. That's F-boy energy also.
Big time. That is honestly, like, more than F-boy energy. That's, like, scary narcissist vibes. Like,
True.
Love bombing is really real and really scary. And it the damages that happen from love bombing will linger through your relationship for the rest of the time you're together.
So get out while you can. Like, don't let it hurt you,
and you know when it's too much, like if they're trying to plan trips really early on, or just like having like being like, I love you so fast, and wanting to make everything so serious so quickly, and talking about getting married so quickly, and just, you know, when it's too much. And there are gonna be people
and if you feel like it's too much, that's a sign.
Oh yeah, you know in your gut, like, this feels uncomfortable. Sometimes people do move fast like that, and that's fine and dandy and great. My parents did that. But there are other times when it's just like, you know, it just feels off.
Yeah, I agree.
I also think when you know people that know this person, the way that they talk about them is very telling. Because I've noticed also with F-boys is, like, even their guys will, like, or girls that know them that are going to hype them up aren't going to say that much. Like, they're going to be like, oh yeah, I love him, like, he's great. Okay, why? Like, they don't really ever give you that much, but when it's genuinely a good guy, you are going to hear such detailed praises.
Wow, that was great.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I could talk, like I can think of, like, the guys in my life that I, like, really care about and think are genuinely good guys. I could go on and on and on about how great I think they are. Whereas a guy that I'm just like, he's my friend, whatever, I'd be like, yeah, he's cool. Like, you know,
that's so true.
I think that's really telling too.
People that really like that person will go above and beyond to talk about that, you know?
If they, like, truly see that in
It's
them.
like if a stranger asks you about your friends. Like, you're going to go on and on and on.
Yeah.
Next, how to make him obsessed with me. I don't know.
I will say, I just enjoy talking to people I want to talk to. So when I'm, like, talking to a guy, like, I don't want to play the whole, like, oh, I'm going to, like, leave you on red a little bit here and there. I don't want to play the game. I know how to play the game. I don't always enjoy it. However, I was talking briefly to a guy, and I was, like, not really that into him, so I think that's also why it made it easier. But I was like, I'm just going to try something new, and I'm just going to not reply a lot. I'm going to be a little bit more unavailable, like, push back our first date vibes. He would literally blow up my phone. Like, if I, like, said something, like, he would call me, like, literally immediately. Like, it worked. So I think that is a very good tactic that I just tested.
But that could also be a red flag in the guy.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say, too, because
It's kind of weird.
it is kind of off, and I'm like, when I'm talking to Sweeter,
Like, when that was happening to her, I was getting weird vibes.
a really genuinely good guy that really wants you, you're not going to have to play the game, so they should just be obsessed with you. But if you're trying to get them obsessed with you, I do think being distant a little bit, being a little unavailable, definitely makes them chase.
Do you want them to be obsessed with you?
I don't, not in, like, a creepy way. Like, I want them to be like,
no,
I want that girl. Like, that's the one I want.
Okay,
But I don't want them to be,
that's
like,
probably saying it
freaking out when I'm, like, not replying and like if I'm like talking to another guy, like just as a friend, they're like mad at you. Like I don't want like that.
I personally like don't want to be like oh my god, worshipped by my boyfriend.
My mom explained this really well the other day. She has her master's in counseling. And she was telling me, she was like, you don't want to be, like, needed by somebody. Mm-hmm. Nobody needs you. Yeah. Like, a baby needs you. Yeah. Your children, when they're little, need you. Yeah. But you need air. You need water. Yeah. You want to be wanted and, like, desired. Mm-hmm. And, like, because that's when it's more of, like, a genuine love and not so toxic. Like, when someone's like, I need you. Yeah, it gets a little scary.
Scary bad.
Yeah. So I liked the way she explained that. Yeah. You want to be wanted, not needed.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And obsession...
Yeah. Obsession, to me, in my mind, has, like, kind of negative.
Yeah, I could see that.
So that's the only reason
we want to be chased. Yeah. We want to be picked.
Mm-hmm. And obsessed and, like, love don't match to me.
They don't correlate to me either.
Like, you can't be... I don't know. This kind of sounds weird, but, like, I would say thinking about your significant other or whatever literally 24/7, it's consuming your life, not good.
Obsession is not healthy.
Yeah, not good. So I get what the question is. Question would be like, how can I make him like chase after me and whatever. Mm-hmm. I would say you probably wouldn't want obsessed. Mm-hmm. Because if you want it to like really do the distance, obsession is not the way to go.
Obsession's like a quick thing too. It's like a phase, I feel like. Yeah. Nobody stays obsessed with something further, like constantly forever. Yeah. So I feel like, that doesn't lead to like long lasting love. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you're just like having a little fun and whatever, then make it
for sure.
With you. Like that's pretty funny.
So I think, having a little ghost moment here and there will really do the job.
Yeah. Wow, we really like science mode that.
Yeah, we really analyzed that question a little bit further than I thought we would, but I kind of liked it.
I like it too. It was a good perspective. Hopefully that helped.
All right, girls, that was the questions you guys asked us about boys. But now
we have a little story.
We want to share a little voice story with you guys. And I'm honestly so nervous.
I'm so excited. Okay, let me just say, when Erin told me this story, I have never laughed so hard at something that you've said. Ever. I was in tears, crying, laughing. It was so funny.
Mom and Dad, if you're listening to this, you don't...
It's not even bad.
It's not bad, but you don't know this story, and I tell y'all everything. Okay. Listen up, queens. So, I'm not going to mention any names. I think I'll actually give a fake name. Let's name the person that this story is his name is going to be Nick. Were you going to say Nick? Okay, perfect. His name's going to be Nick. Okay, a few months ago, me and some of my girls got invited to go to this lake house for the weekend, and we were like, yeah, for sure. Any opportunity to get on a boat, I'll be there. So we drive to this lake, and we get there, and there was this one guy who was going to be there that I like thought was really cute, and I was like, oh, I'll probably have like a little weekend fling with this boy. Like that was kind of like my thought process going into the weekend. And one of his friends was like, yeah, for sure that will happen. He like followed me on Instagram before we went, so that's kind of like what I was thinking was going to be going down this weekend. Well, I was so surprised. So we get to the lake.
Didn't go as planned.
Did not go as planned. So we get to the lake. It's day one. We got there like late at night. So we kind of like all have like a glass of wine and go to bed. And we kind of got like situated with like who all was going to be here. So the next day rolls around. We're on the boat and we're like hanging out. I'm like talking to this specific guy a lot. He's like wanting me to sit by him on the boat. And, you know, we're just
chatting it up.
We're vibing. And I'm like, this is great. So then later, we're done with the day part. We go back to the house, and some more people show up. And this particular boy ends up finding a different girl. And I'm like, oh, okay. Weird, but fine. So it's whatever. So then everyone's just kind of, like, coupled up. Like, the friends I was with that were there were, like, with their boys. And, like, this guy is with his new girl, and I'm like, okay, I'm like kind of the lone wolf right now. Well, this other guy had gotten there that day. This is Nick. I was very much like I don't even know how many people were there, but I was the wheel. I was the odd wheel. Whatever that was. Yeah. So this other guy, Nick, gets there that day, and I'm like, okay, well, I can talk to a wall. So I'm literally talking to him, and we're honestly having a great conversation. Like, we're vibing, kind of. Like, we're talking about
careers.
We're talking about careers, like, nothing, like, flirty. Yeah. But then I'm a little drunky, and so I'm like, is this guy cute? Is he cute? Do I like him? Or do I just like talking to him? And so I'm like, you know, being a tiny flirty, just putting the vibe.
You're asking the girl that she was there with, like, I can't tell. You tell me.
I'm like, do you think he's cute? And she's more drunk than I am. She's like, oh my god, yes. She's like, yeah, he's so cute. And I'm like, drunk goggles. I know, don't get drunk goggles, ladies. Rose gold or drunk, don't do it. Anyways, I'm like, okay, so I'm putting the vibes out there a little bit, and then I start to sober up a little bit. I'm like, I just like talking to him. This isn't the vibe. But I had already kind of put it out there, so I'm like, reel it in as fast as I can. Okay, so we're sitting outside, and I'm looking around, and I realize my friend and her man's had kind of wandered off, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I think I'm going to go shower. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to go make another drink, so, like, I'll walk up to the house with you. And I was like, okay. So we're walking up to the house, and my bedroom that I was staying in with my friend was on the first floor, like, right when you walked in, and then you go up the stairs to the kitchen where, like, he went to go make a drink. So I walk in, I go straight to my room, and I try to open the door, and it's not opening. It's locked. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But I'm like, okay, hopefully it's just going to be like hopefully it'll be open soon. We'll leave it at that. Okay. And I'm like,
well, there were people in there.
There were people in the room. Yeah. And I'm like, hopefully it's just going to get unlocked soon, you know? So I'm like, okay, well, at this point he's walking back down the stairs, and I'm like, well, I start banging on the door actually, and no one's answering. I'm literally banging so hard, no one's answering. I'm like, okay. I'm like calling them. Nobody's answering the phone. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give them some time. Hopefully I can get in soon. So at this point he comes back down the stairs. He's like, oh, is the door locked? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay, well, there's a shower up here if you want to use this one. I'm like, oh, okay. Cool. So I go up there, and he shows me where the bathroom is, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't even have clothes to change into if I'm up here. Like, I'll just wait. Or any of your stuff. Or any of my stuff, whatever. Yeah. The man, I'm not kidding, literally takes the shirt off his body and hands it to me. And I'm like, okay.
His stinky, smelly shirt from being on the boat
all the lake all day. Like, I was like, okay, but like, ew. I'm kind of ready to be out of my bathing suit, so sure, I guess. I literally make this the longest shower of my life. Like, I wasn't washing my hair or anything. I was literally just standing there, like, looking at the water, like, contemplating my entire life, like, what I'm supposed to do in this moment right now. So I get out of the shower, and I go back down to my room, and I'm like, please be open. It's been a long time at this point. Door still freaking locked. I'm like, oh my gosh, calling again, banging again, no response. At this point, he walks back in the house, Nick, and he's like, is it still locked? And I'm like, And
wait, what time of day is this at this point?
Late at night, like probably like 1 a.m.
Okay,
maybe midnight.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, setting the scene, it's nighttime. And so he's like, okay, well, like, you can stay up here if you want, like, you can, like, crash in my room. And I'm like, God, okay, I guess, because all the other rooms are taken. I'm like, whatever, I can just, like, squeeze on the end of the bed and it'll be fine. So we go upstairs, and the man takes me into a room with a twin bed. A twin bed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, no. And so
freshman year vibes.
Like, I'm in a freaking dorm room again with, oh my gosh, and I literally was like about to cry. So not really, but I was like, of course this would happen to me. And so then I'm like doing everything I can to like not actually go to bed. I'm like, oh my gosh, the fan's not working. How do we turn on the TV? Oh my gosh, show me your Apple Music playlist. Like, anything I can do to like stay awake and just hope that
the door opens.
Yeah, eventually the door opens. So then we're like talking for a little bit longer, and he's like, wait, why are we staying in here? There's a king bed down the hall. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's go. Because in that moment, I can definitely squeeze on the end of the bed and go to bed, and everything will be okay. So we go in there. I turn on Dance Moms. I'm just vibing. He's like talking my ear off. I'm like not even listening at this point. I'm like, I literally cannot talk to you anymore. Not to mention, the man was not speaking English. They got to a point in the night where I swear his brain just like stopped working, gibberish. And he was literally just word vomiting gibberish. And I would literally look at him and be like, Nick, I don't know what you're trying to say right now. And he was like,
that was happening all day before, though, and you didn't realize until
it started happening after that. Yeah, like the whole next day. It was so weird. So, first of all, I can't even, like, talk to the man anymore. Like, I can talk to a wall, but not when you're not speaking
English.
Not even English. You're not speaking words, period. It was so weird. So, anyways, I'm like, whatever. I'm going to bed. He tried to cuddle me. I was like, no thanks. No. Oh, so then we go to bed. I'm literally, like, curling the end of the bed, like, cuddling the side table, basically. Yeah, okay, so 4 a.m. probably rolls around, and I if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll love this. If you're not watching this on YouTube, I'll try to describe.
Go watch.
The man is sitting, knees up to his chest, like heels back by his butt, and starts nudging me with his toes like this, like with his feet, and I'm like, hello, and he doesn't say anything, and I'm like, Nick, what do you want? Doesn't say anything. So he literally like plank crawls over me on the bed. When it's a king bed, he can get off on both sides of the bed. Crawls over me, goes over the bed, goes by the closet, pulls open the closet door, and starts peeing in the closet. And I was like, that's not a bathroom. And he was like, it kind of is.
Oh,
and I was literally
God.
mortified. I was like, oh my God, what is happening right now? So anyways, he gets back in the bed and I'm like, okay. So I go back to bed.
The roll over.
The roll, nudging me with your toes like a little child. Go away. Like, literally go away. Oh my gosh. It was the weirdest sight I've ever seen. It's like dark and I just see the silhouette of like a little ball. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So then
You're never gonna forget this.
This is so traumatizing. But now it's honestly hilarious though. So I'm kind of glad it happened.
Me too.
So then it's like 6 a.m. And I'm the lightest sleeper in the world, by the way, everybody. And this man's literally told me the next day, I have never met somebody that sleeps as heavy as you do. Newsflash, I was pretending that I was asleep. It's not rocket science, okay?
Yeah,
you know, we've been doing that since we were literally newborn children. Mm-hmm. Anyways, so he's, you know, trying to wake me up all of a sudden. He's like, superstar. He's calling me superstar. He's like, wake up. I can't get my laptop out of this room. Keep in mind, the room that this laptop was in was the guy that I thought I was going to be hanging out with. So I was like, okay, like, I don't care. So he's like, I can't get my laptop out of this room and I need to do work. And I'm totally ignoring him. And he's like, oh, okay, whatever. So I don't know what he does for a little bit longer. Then like literally like an hour later, he starts doing it again. And he's like asking me if I can go in the room or try to get into the room to get this laptop. And I'm like, why would I go into your friend's room to get your laptop? No. And he then brings in a English bulldog. So I have superstar waking me up, and then a dog that's like in my ear, and I literally woke up in rage. Like I saw red, like bright red. I literally was like, what do you want? The dog. I was like, seriously, what do you want?
Like an alien.
And he explains like what I just said, literal alien. He's like, can you just try to get in there? And I'm like, no, like why would I like go in there? That's your friend. Like I'm not, if the door's locked, the door's locked. Like nobody's gonna get in. We learned that lesson already. We already learned that lesson. Yeah. Oh, so anyways, he's like, all right, well, like let's watch your YouTube videos or something. And I'm like, respectfully, no. If you know me, you know watching my own voice and my own content is my biggest nightmare. Like I will literally scream at my mom for doing that. So absolutely am I not going to do that with you. And he's like, okay, well, like, do you want to go walk the dog with me? And I'm like, not really. I don't really want to be awake right now. Like, sorry. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go walk the dog real quick. And I was being nice, I will say. I was being fine. But anyway, so he goes out and walks the dog. And I'm like, here's my mad dash. And I literally run out of that room so fast. And I'm like, surely the door is going to be open now. Yeah, it was open, and newsflash, they were just asleep the entire time. Like, they literally just were sleeping in there. Like, I could have been in there. Mm-hmm. So that was really just the kicker in this whole thing, is I totally could have been in the room.
Yeah, would have been fine.
Mad dash to the room. And then one of my friends FaceTimes me, so I run out on the balcony, like by the dock, and I'm FaceTiming her, and I'm telling her this whole story, like literally just like bashing on this person. I'm sorry, I am. And I hear from behind me, hey, superstar, what are you doing? And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I look up, I literally look in my FaceTime, and he's on the balcony behind me, literally yelling at me. And I'm like, I'm on the phone, and he's
looking down on her.
Looking down on me. And he's like, I'm on the phone. I'm like, and he's like, I see that. And I'm like, yeah. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And then I'm having to whisper because I can see him in the background on my FaceTime, and he's literally just standing in the balcony, not on his phone, just standing there like this, watching me talk on the phone about him. It was traumatizing, and I told everybody that he peed in the closet. I told everyone I was with because I wanted it to be so clear. Like, that was not the vibe. I was not into this man. No. I didn't do anything with this man. Like, I literally was trying to escape the whole time. And I told everybody.
An escape room.
It literally was like a challenge, like trying to get out of there. And it was literally traumatic, and I never talked to him again.
Oh.
I never talked to him again, and I never will. It was literally so weird.
No.
And so to my friends that were in that room, I have forgiven you now, but it took some time.
Forgive, but we'll never forget.
Yeah, I will forgive, but I will never forget. But thank you for giving me a really great story.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's one of like the worst experiences I've ever had.
All because a door was locked.
All because a door was locked that literally did not even need to be locked. Yeah. Oh my god, it was literally so bad. Don't ever nudge a girl with your toes. Ick, ick, ick,
Please,
ick.
it shouldn't even cross your mind.
It's so weird. Like, I would never like be like, hey Bentley, what do you want to do? Do you want to record a podcast? Like, that's so weird.
I hope you guys enjoyed that hilarious story.
We'll have so much more boy tea for you on this podcast. Yeah. Honestly, the things I have witnessed, they're insane.
Yeah. It's kind of like this. Like, it's Aaron with the craziness, and I'm just like a little...
But your stories are so
normal.
good and pure. Like, I honestly would rather be you.
I guess, but I have nothing... Like, we were going to do stories. I have no stories to tell. I hope I don't have a
That's
story.
what I was going to say. Like, I was going to say, like, maybe we'll work on that. No, I honestly hope we don't. No. I don't want you.
I don't want to have a story.
Okay, well, speaking of icks, we obviously learned that being poked with toes is my biggest ick ever, but there's so many more. So for game time this week, we're gonna go through, yay or nay. We're gonna go through some icks that we found on just all over the place and thought of, and say if they really are an ick to us or not.
Yep.
What's the definition of an ick, you think?
Ooh, I would say an ick is something that is, you see it, and it's immediately turn off.
Like, it's just
like, I don't want to be around you. You are not attractive to me anymore.
The most cringe ever. Like, it's not like a red flag. It's like a disgust.
Yeah. It's like, I really like you. You're cute, whatever. And then the ick happens, and you're like, get away from me.
Like, I can't stand you.
Get away from me. All right.
Alrighty.
So, number 1, flip-flops.
I'm gonna be honest, they don't really bother me.
Doesn't bother me either, and if I said it did, JD would be so mad because
I know he loves flip-flops. I do be seeing him in those flops. Not nay. It really I was gonna say nar. Yar nar.
Yar nar.
Nay, it doesn't bug me. Sitting crisscross applesauce.
As this are also
right yeah, but I'm a girl.
Yeah.
This is kind of specific to that story, and this is why I put it in there, because there was a point where I watched him sit crisscross applesauce in the grass, and I almost
think it's
cried.
an ick.
Such an ick. That is such an ick.
Yep. Gym selfies, ick.
Ick.
Bad. Bye.
So bad. Especially if you're posting them. Like, I understand, like, wanting progress pictures for yourself.
Yeah, that's fine.
But if you're posting it, that's a whole different... Anyways, gym selfies are an R.
Please don't do that.
Don't. Dangly earrings, I don't like.
No.
Nope. I will say...
watching Love Island.
I was going to say... Isaiah is my favorite boy.
He's so cute, but the dangly earring, I just want to
I just want to rip it off. It's not my vibe, personally.
No.
If they get drunker than you... consistently, not just like a one-night thing.
Then yeah.
You're done. That's such an ick to me, too.
2-in-1 shampoo,
Ick.
get out.
No, like, that is
You're
so
done.
gross.
You're done.
You know what's worse is the 3-in-1 when it's like conditioner,
Body wash.
shampoo, and body wash. What chemicals go into that could work on everything?
No.
That is so weird.
You need, like, stuff for hair.
Yeah, and
Body wash doesn't go in your hair.
drink.
Seltzer?
I saw this a lot on TikTok. Girls said drinking seltzers.
I don't think that's weird.
I don't think it's weird either.
You're a man drinking a High Noon?
Yeah, like, that's fine. They just want to be a skinny king.
Yeah.
Like-
And
A built king.
mullets.
No, here's the tea, though. I literally was talking to this guy, and he asked me, like, should I put my, like, cut a mullet? Should I get a mullet cut? And I was like, absolutely not. And as soon as we ended things,
Mullet.
he had a mullet. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Of course.
It was, I saw him out with it, and I was like,
Goodbye.
okay, yeah, fighting. Like, when they want to just, like, fight people all the time.
That's
It's
so disgusting and weird. Weird. Why?
Grow up.
Be a nice boy.
What's the point?
Not
What is the
attractive.
point?
Drinking iced coffee. I'd say no. That's not Nick.
For some reason, it kind of bothers me. But it doesn't ick me. I'm just like, get black coffee.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Yeah, me and JD go get lattes. He loves the iced vanilla latte.
I guess it doesn't. Something about it just feels like, you know what? We'll come back to this for our next part. But I think it's just for the girls.
Oh, really?
A little bit. But it doesn't give me the ick. Because honestly, who likes black coffee?
And it has a little inner white girl in him, though.
He kind of does.
He loves the tea. He likes his coffee.
No boyfriend likes the tea as much as JD, and I appreciate that about him.
No.
Likes to be the little spoon. You can't hate this one either,
can't
Bentley.
hate
Exposed. I don't hate this one, but I don't want to be the big spoon all the time. That's when I would get
Oh,
there.
yeah, no.
And not even 50-50, maybe like
Okay.
40-60.
Every man has an inner little boy.
Yes, they all want to be caressed and
That's where that's stemming from.
loved. Yeah, they just want to feel safe. But they just
Love you
can't admit
guys, but it's
It's the
okay.
truth.
It's okay. Axe.
it. Disgusting. Grow
Sixth
up.
grade? 7th grade? Locker room? No.
Flexing their money, we've already said it. Disgusting. Immediately no.
I think that's the worst one on the list. What do you think?
Yeah, or fighting. Either of those.
Ooh, okay,
Disgusting, repulsive energy. I hate it.
Definitely those two. Game number 2. What is only for the girls? So, what's a little example we can give them first? Like Erin said earlier, iced coffee. She
Yeah.
thinks is only for the girls.
Iced coffee feels girl to me.
I think you're right.
All right, you go first.
So we don't know each other's.
Yeah, we don't know each other's. We picked different ones.
So we'll see if we have the same.
I had the best time picking these out earlier. It was so fun.
Okay, so my first one is walks.
That's on mine.
Really?
Yeah, I have walks
Nice.
too.
Like
Hot girl walks.
It's
That's
not
exactly
hot
what I
boy
said.
walks. Sorry.
No, it's not a hot boy thing. Walking was on mine too. My first one though I put was throw blankets.
Oh my god.
Boys don't get a throw blanket.
Yeah. Also, like when they're like old and like have a really nice designed house and
Yeah.
stuff, like that's like mature.
It is mature, but like the thought of a boy cuddling with a throw blanket, like that's for girls.
Yeah. My next one is water bottles.
Oh, okay. I actually do see that. Like they could just carry a jug.
Yeah. Or like a plastic water bottle.
Yeah,
Or...
you could just be bad to the environment. Girls are nicer anyways. Pajamas.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Just wear your boxers.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
need PJs.
Yeah, no.
PJ pants and art.
Only at Christmas time with your family.
And it's because you're like matching your girlfriend. You have to. Like, it's not by choice.
My next one is Instagram stalking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
only for
That
the
is
girls.
only for the girls. And honestly, it is because the boys don't know how to do it as well as we do. Birthday parties past the age of 10. Well, boys do birthday parties.
Yes. Oh my god. I have never thought about that.
I mean, I feel like it comes back when you turn 50 for a man.
Yeah,
you can have a
when you get
50th
old.
birthday.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's
because
it.
the wife throws it for you.
Because the wife throws it for you, but
Yeah.
you're not having a birthday party in college or high school.
No. The boys, like, even on the 21st, like, all the girls go crazy for the
Yeah.
21st, but the boys just like, hey, I'm going to O-Bar.
Yeah, I was about to say they go to O-Bar. Y'all want to go to Chimmy's? Yeah, no birthday parties for y'all. I'm so sorry.
Okay, my next one is making TikToks.
Oh, I almost put that one on my list. Yeah.
I don't think we need to explain it. Just kind of
It doesn't need to be explained. My next one's fruit.
What?
Like, fruit is for the girls. Y'all can eat vegetables and meat. Like,
Okay.
fruit, like strawberries,
Yeah.
that's for me.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I do see it.
I don't know why.
Okay, my next one is a loofah.
Oh my gosh, that was so good. Loofahs are definitely for the girls.
I do want the boy to be clean, so what are they using to froth up the soap, you know?
Like, I want them to use a loofah, but like also, it's just like the frilly circle vibe that gives me girl. Maybe they can just get like a nice sponge.
Go scrubber.
Yeah, like the brush.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good. You guys can have that. That takes off our self tanner too much, so we can't have that.
Yeah.
Cocktails.
Oh my god. I have espresso martinis.
Oh, for sure, that's for the
It is for
girls.
the girls.
Anything in a cute glass, just drink a beer.
Yeah, like, I'll say, that was girly of you. Okay, my next one, lowercase.
Oh, 100%.
I don't do that, but Erin does.
I do, and I tried to switch to like capitalization this summer, and I hated it. So I'm a lowercase queen for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, girls only though.
Yep.
Mine's selfies. We've already talked about it. Selfies are for the girls.
Yeah, yep, totally.
Unless your girl is in your selfie.
Yeah, that's cute. You can post your
A
logo.
selfie by yourself
Girlfriend.
is a nar. Honestly, girls have it way more fun. I would hate to sit here and be like, "What's for the boys?" Football, steak. I'm like, I don't want it anyways. Like, that's fine.
Okay, so now we're at the end of the show. It's time for the TBD. Our try is listening to your true, emphasis on true, friends. Especially when it comes to boys.
Get their input. People on the outside know what's going on, and
If they're a true friend, they'll tell you straight up.
yeah, whether you want to hear it or not, they have your best interest at heart.
Yes.
Our buy is the Bloom Greens. We talked a lot about them in our last episode, and I think Bentley and I have both been doing them for about 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
And both loving them still. So we've drank what's it called?
What?
We've drank the punch. What is it called when you like drink the juice?
You drank the juice.
I drank the Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid.
We drank the Kool-Aid, and
Okay, yeah.
we're thankful we did.
We
so
got
you
it.
should too.
And lastly, deny toxic men. Goodbye.
Know your standard and don't do it.
Listen to our advice, apply, and deny.
Yes, apply and deny.
Yep.
Period. Weekly wish.
Okay. Mine, I wrote it down because we don't tell each other before.
Yeah, we want these to be surprised. I still haven't thought of mine, honestly.
I need to get back on track with my biz stuff. I had a little vacation, didn't open my computer, and now back to school, got my school stuff figured out, and I'm back on track with biz stuff after this week. Or once this week starts.
Good. Okay, I like that. I think similar. I've been not super on my TikTok grind lately. I think I got sick and I just wasn't feeling super creative. Recruitment's over, so now I'm kind of like having an identity crisis for a second. And I need to just start like cranking out content again.
Yeah.
I think I was not putting that as a priority. So let's get career driven again.
Get back to it. We had a little staycation
Yeah.
in our minds.
Yeah, we did. Our minds went on a break.
And we haven't seen each other, and when we're together, ideas flow.
They do. I think that really was my issue. I didn't have you. I think that's really what it was.
Yeah, we got to start bouncing.
We do. We'll let you know how it goes next week. But that's a wrap for today. We know it was a longer one, but it was a good one.
Check out our website for the recap of all of the things, links to Bloom Greens, so on.
And I would love if you guys... would go on our website and write in on our write-in column and tell us your craziest boy story or like your biggest ick. Because I will literally just die reading that, and I just think it would be so fun.
And we won't say anything unless you want us to.
Yeah, we'll keep it anonymous. Don't worry, queens.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all. We love you guys, and we're officially a month into this.
Wow.
That's crazy.
If you're just now watching and this is your first episode, go watch our previous ones because they kind of all connect.
Yep. You can get all the backstory. We love y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Nice.